Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be doing a Champion 3 replay analysis for Aqua Z. If you're curious on how to submit your own replay analysis, check out the description down below. Click all the links while you're there, but all the details on how to submit a replay analysis are down there. So go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and get into it. Trying to shorten up these intros for these videos. Alright, let me back it up. Camera settings looked weird for some reason. I think you did the kickoff with ball cam off. Is that why? Yeah, okay. It just looked weird. You don't usually see people do the kickoff with ball cam off. Sometimes, but it's not typical. It was kind of throwing me off. It looked like your car was not centered on the screen. I was very confused. Okay. Little antsy there, little jumpy. Make sure you take your time when you've got space like this. Look at how much space you have. This is complete. You have the time and space to just drive up to this ball. I was about to say walk. Just drive up to this ball, catch it on the bounce, and you've got a flick. This guy might be AFK, in which case this is pretty much an open net. If he's not AFK, then you've still got him in a good 1v1 position. So just take your time here. You've got a ton of open space. No need to be jumpy here. Calm down a little bit. And remember to take time when you are given open space. You know, start a dribble, go for a solo play. Tons of space, tons of time there. No need to make that touch that gives away the possession and lets your opponent come and take away the ball for free. But everyone is playing now, so no more, 1 versus 2 opportunities. Okay, I like the challenge here. I do, right? This is fine. And I do like that you're putting pressure here because either you or your teammate do need to put pressure here. And it looks like you're in a much just more logical position here versus your teammate to throw in this challenge. The only thing is, you got to recognize that he's in a flickable position, and when your opponent's got the ball in a flickable position, you're almost never going to win the challenge when you challenge. So your goal here is not to dunk your opponent. Your goal here is not to hit the ball. Your goal here is just to make your opponent flick it, right? You know that they want to flick it. You see that he can flick it. That's your goal. Make him flick it because that flick dispossesses him. He dispossesses himself when he flicks the ball. Your teammate should be in position to clear the ball to a safe position or take possession of the ball after he flicks it. So your job here is just to bait the flick. So what that means is you don't even have to jump here. You don't have to dive. You can stay grounded. Just drive up to him and, you're pretty much fake challenging. You can drive challenge, you can go for the bump, or you can just drive up to him and turn away and start rotating back. It's going to make your recovery a lot faster. You don't take yourself out of the play for this challenge. And you've done your job. You've baited the flick. You've gotten him to give away possession. And then it's up to your teammate to be in position to clear the ball, either, however he has to clear it to pretty much take possession of it afterwards. So notice you dive here when he was already set up for the flick. It was easy for him to beat you. You didn't need to dive. And now you're out of the play for a lot longer than if you had just driven up to him, gone for the drive challenge, which is where you just drive at him, go for the bump, go for the demo, and then drive away. So either of those keep you on the ground, get you recovered faster. And had you not been so out of the play on this challenge, this wouldn't have been a goal against you. So just drive up here. You would have been already turning back, already at midfield at this point in time. You're at midfield, rotating into your net at the far post. This touch comes through and bam, you're there for it. You're there for it all day, every day. Opponent is AFK again off a kickoff. Almost able to put it in. Good try, good try. Good positioning. Seeing your teammates about to get demoed, you position to take the ball afterwards. Good job. So honestly, off of this touch here, you could just shoot. Your touch could have been slightly better. Think of it as you're setting yourself up for a bounce dribble, right? When you see somebody execute a bounce dribble, think of Khaled back in his 1v1 days. Think of, I don't know, whoever else does a lot of bounce dribbling. If you've seen somebody bounce dribble, you know what it's like, right? You're just taking a soft chip here, a softer chip, less of a cut into the ball, and more of a light chip up this direction. You're driving around and then bam, power shotting the ball at the net. So not the best, execution offensively there. You had the play, right? You do have the play. In hindsight, that net is probably open as well. Tough shot, definitely a tough shot here. Don't blame me for not taking the shot. This is open. It is open if you can just side flip it, diagonal flip, side flip into the ball. It is open net. But then the cut into the ball here, slightly unnecessary. It slows down the play in a moment where you don't want to slow down the play. You want to try to attack this open net as soon as possible. So the more towards the net, soft, diagonal, towards the net touch, like you're setting yourself up for a bounce dribble, followed up by the instant shot. Or once you do hook this and you get it on your hood, try to keep it slightly more on the front of your car versus on the very top, and you can just instantly go for the flick. But this slow execution and slow play here, you kind of lost the advantage you had there when you slowed down the play. Okay, good play out of your corner. All right. So trying to take it up off the ceiling. Risky play. I mean, it's doable, but I'm not gonna lie. From this position to get the ball going off the ceiling and you following behind it in a good position is very tough. Even somebody who averages around GC2 and has been there for a long time, like solid GC2, struggle to make a ceiling play in this position. Think of when it's coming off your back wall and it's hugging that curb and you try to make a ceiling play from your curb. A lot of the time what happens is you hit the ball too hard, it bounces off the ceiling and down, and you're just not able to follow it up like you had envisioned in your mind. So keep in mind, this is a very low percentage time, very tough time, tough opportunity to make a ceiling play. Not the most effective selection of plays here. What you could do instead is just actually shadow this ball. Shadow it as it comes back down on the wall. Try to make a ground play. Your opponents are over here, so you'd probably want to make your touch going in this direction as the ball comes down. Or if you don't want to do that, at least don't flip into this here, because flipping into this here, just got to think again, just like earlier, you're flipping into the ball, but what's your follow-up? What's your plan afterwards? You have none. You have no ability to get to this ball first if you flip into it here, right? Bam. Nobody's challenging you at this point in time. You're not hitting the ball around anybody. You're just hitting the ball to hit the ball, which means, bam, you're now out of the play, and he's able to come in and get the next touch for free. So got to do a better job of keeping possession of the ball so far. Got to do a better job of not unnecessarily hitting the ball away from yourself. And a pretty bad positioning here as well. You see your teammates about to get challenged in your corner. So there's two outcomes. Either he gets 50 and it stays neutral, or he gets 50 and he loses it and it's in front of your net. So, very low percent chance that you going upfield here is the right play. So poor decision here. Definitely jump the gun on pushing upfield for the mid boost. When you've already got 25 boosts, there's a couple of pads in the vicinity that you can collect to get yourself up to about 50 boosts, which is very comfortable on defense. You don't need to go for the mid boost 100, especially when the ball is either about to settle in your corner or is about to drop in front of your net. So pretty poor decision making here. Got to be careful. You saw your teammate about to get challenged the entire time. And that's fortunate that they didn't just score. They definitely should have. Again, same thing here. within 15 seconds, you're making bad decisions to not go back on defense. Right? You challenge, okay, you whiffed, that's all right, whatever. But now you see, right before you turn off your ball cam, there's about to be another interaction on the ball. There's about to be another play here. There's about to be another interaction. Your teammate's pushing forward, the opponent's staying within the vicinity. There's about to be an interaction. So you do not want to be leaving the net, because for all you know, your teammate just lost that 50, or the 50 shot up, hit the ceiling, and is bouncing back down in front of your net, and the other opponent's about to have the follow-up shot. So you're picking some poor times to leave your net and leave on defense. If your teammate's about to get 50-50 in a way where it could center the ball in front of your net, well, then you need to be there to have the follow-up, to get the clear, or else it's just going to be a free goal for your opponent. Nice play by your teammate there. Notice how he took his time, he got possession, and he made a play. He actually made a calculated play. Let me see this. Is this an okay turn here? I was a bit on the fence here. Let me see this. I'm a bit on the fence about you turning for this. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad. Nice. Good try. See, that was a more calculated. You had a game plan here. I'm gonna set myself up, grab the boost, go for the aerial play. The pop off the wall is slightly too towards midfield. You got slightly too underneath the ball. If you hit it slightly more, if your angle on approach on this touch was more towards the net, right? Let me see if I can get this perfectly timed here on your touch. Okay, so your touch here is about to send the ball going towards the midfield. You want to get slightly more going in this direction. Oops, slightly more in this direction as you hit the ball, so that you get the ball to actually go more towards the net, and your follow-up is a lot easier, right? A lot of the time, setting up an aerial play or executing an aerial play, the most important step is the first touch. The first touch off the wall, in the air. You want to get a touch that makes scoring as easy as possible, that makes following up the ball as easy as possible. So you want to get the ball traveling towards the net, so that you don't have to readjust your positioning and your maneuvering in the air so much, just to try to get into an actual threatening position after you make it to the ball. Had this ball been traveling more towards the net, and then you got to the ball when it's already up here and you're like right here trailing the ball, well, then you're in a much more threatening position. But if the ball's all the way out here, by the time you make contact with it all the way in the midfield, your opponent knows, okay, his setup wasn't very good. He's not in a very threatening position here. So just try to hit it slightly more going towards the net and less towards midfield there. Cool, cool. No qualms with that. Good execution on getting the ball out of your half off the back wall. That was about the quickest way you could have done it. I mean, obviously the air dribble could have been better, but that is, in that position, probably the best play to clear the ball out of your end with possession. So I'm fine with that execution on the play. You managed to do it without messing up and passing the ball to your opponent, so good job there. Now here I'm going to say, don't get too ahead of yourself. Remember who you are. Remember you're Champ 3. You're not Astral. You're not Justin. You're not Rise, Beast Mode, whatever. You're not going to make a play in this position starting your aerial backwards off to the left side of the field. A pro player could probably make a threatening play from this position. Anybody else? Probably not. So you're not going up for this ball with the intention of scoring. You should be going up for this ball with the intention of keeping possession, passing it off to your teammate. So when you go up for this, I really want to see you hit this ball off down in this direction. Your teammate should be behind you at this point in time. Let me go back a little bit to sort of signify where your teammate's at. Show where your teammate's at. Okay, he just got bumped. He hit the ceiling, landed back down in this general area. So once you go up, he's directly behind you, probably off to your right slightly. Bam, look at that. So you go up for this ball. He's even waiting for it. He's ready for it. If you would have chipped it down in this direction, your teammate could have the next touch and you guys would have the possession of the play. But because you're ahead of yourself a little bit in terms of what you think you can actually do, you're not making the right judgment call here. So, even most pros will not try to score an offensive play here. Most pros will also go for this assist play. Pass the ball down your opponent or your teammate off to your right. That's going to be the most efficient play here for sure. Nice follow-up shot. Good job. Again, getting a little, not taking the time when you have it. I'm not telling you to take a 1v1 here, although that is an option. But if you're going to go for the shot, look at how much time you have. You've got so much time to take your time and make sure you have a good shot. Drive up to the ball, get closer and make sure you jump up and make solid contact with the corner of your car with a little air roll shot in the left side. You've got tons of space here. So if you're not going to take the 1v1, at least try to take a good shot. You're rushing, you're wasting the space that's given to you a lot of the time, thinking you have to go a lot sooner than you do. So try to recognize more so when you've got such open space, nobody's challenging, you can take your time to make a better play. I'm gonna say this. So what I have always said is that you should rotate out of the play. You see this play here and you're not going to be able to catch up to your opponent to get the demo. So ideally you want to rotate out of the play, especially since your teammate's already in this line of attack. He can have the next challenge, he can meet the ball, and then you're in position behind him to follow up whatever happens. But if you keep chasing down the play here, your teammate is sort of in a tough position. He doesn't know if he should wait until you're going to catch up and demo or bump the player, but he doesn't know how much boost you have. He doesn't know if you're ever actually going to be able to catch the player. He can just sit here like he does and sort of hope for the best, but then this 50-50, when he does take it, is you're in the same area. And so if he loses it like we see, the ball's past both of you. So the safer play is definitely to rotate out, pick up pads on your rotation. So you're going to pick up probably these pads here, maybe this pad, and then sort of take a sharper angle towards net so that you can follow up the follow-up 50-50. But what I do realize is there are times in 2v2 where you do want to not rotate out of the play. There are times where not rotating out of the play is okay as well. And it usually is when you are going to have the ability to interfere with the player on the ball. But since you're on 0 boost and you're not able to catch up to this player, I would rather see you take the time to rotate out, which gives you the opportunity to grab boost, collect boost, and your teammate can challenge for you and you can follow him up after you've gotten yourself about 30-40 boost. You're in a better position to do something with the ball, and it's just a better play. If you had 100 boost here, if you got that back corner boost and he didn't, and you had the speed and the boost to catch him and demo him and then let your teammate have it, sure, I would say do that. But because you can't catch this player, recognize that and instead choose to rotate out, let your teammate challenge for you, and you can back him up. Just out of your capability there. Definitely savable, but you just don't got it sometimes. Go back here. Okay, this is okay. I'm fine with that. In that scenario. Rocket League is very situational. In that situation, I was fine with that. Ooh, he tried to hook shot you. It would have been a goal if he hits that hook shot. As of saying that, I realized I should probably point out why that would have been a goal if he would have hit that hook shot. Waiting on a boost that isn't there, usually not ideal for sure. It did seem like it was gone for a while, so I won't fault you too long for thinking it should come up any second. Yeah, I mean, not too bad, I suppose. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, all right. Okay. So, you could probably imagine what I'm going to say here. Sort of unnecessary to go up for this ball. Right, in this position, what's your play? Your only play here, your only play here is to pinch it as it hits the wall. That's your only play. Your only play is to get the pinch as it hits the wall. And all that's going to do is send it back to your opponents where they just recollect it. So, and it's 2-2, 24 seconds left. And after you make this play, you're going to be out of the play for quite a while because you're using all your boost just to bounce the ball off the wall, essentially. So if this goes south, if this doesn't work out, your teammate's going to be in a really rough spot, and you're going to have very little time to make up for a goal if you get scored on. So this is essentially you going up for this ball is quite possibly what will lose you the game if you do lose this game. So if you go up for this ball, things don't work out, it's a low percentage play to begin with. And if things don't work out, very high chance that you're getting scored on. Your teammate's going to be at a 2v1 and you're not going to have much time to try to equalize. So you got to think about that. Like, is this really worth probably throwing the game? Going for it? No. So instead, just stay on the ground. Just stay on the ground. Looking at this ball, we're driving in this direction. We're going here, right? We're meeting him here. We didn't hit that ball. And what does that force? That forces him to either hit it past you, in which case it goes to your teammate for free back here. You just driving here, parking here, showing him that you're ready to challenge if he doesn't hit the ball, right? He doesn't hit it, then boom, you take the 50, you challenge. It's probably going back to your opponent's half. Or he hits it past you and it's a free ball for your teammate. So that's the better play, safer play, and it doesn't potentially throw the game. So one more time, we're going back. Instead of aerialing for this, we're on the ground, forcing him to hit it past us to our teammate behind us. Now, fortunately, that worked out well. Not always going to be like that, though. Oh, they've had three times they could have scored on you. I mean, let's see this. How does this happen? Tough. Overtime. Okay, OT. Let's see how it goes. Back left kickoff. All right. One thing I've noticed this entire game is you do flicker your boost or your ball cam a lot, and it's quite distracting. Not only for me, who's just watching you play, but you're missing a lot of information that's going on. So credit to what's his name? What's that coach's name? Verge. Credit to Verge for the term ball boost ball, which essentially means when you're going for boost, You just want to flicker your ball cam. You're looking at the ball, then you're turning off your ball cam to line up with the boost. And as soon as you line up with the boost, you're turning your ball cam back on and then just driving straight at the boost till you collect it. So bam. And then there's no reason to turn off your ball cam here. No reason to turn off your ball cam here. You don't see what's going on at this moment. You're not gathering any information, and thus your milliseconds, your quarter seconds, your half seconds, or your full seconds behind everybody else in what the next decision is to be made. So you're just losing a lot of time by not keeping your eye on the ball. Just like in the old term baseball, the old baseball term, keep your eye on the ball. Well, when you're going for boost, ball. Turn it off just for a second to line up with the boost, and then turn it back on. Okay, we got space. We got time and space. What's the play? Going for an aerial play. Okay, really bad setup. Kind of looks like maybe you thought about passing last second, and maybe you didn't make up your mind either way, and it sort of messed you up. That happens sometimes. You don't know which one you want to do, and you don't decide on either, and so you don't really do either. It kind of looks like that's probably what happened. You heard your teammate off to your side, and you're like, should I pass it? Should I go for the solo play? And then you didn't really do either, unfortunately. I would rather see you go for the solo play or go for the pass than get stuck not making a decision on either and then just giving the ball away. So unfortunate there. You got to try to recognize that does happen and then try to avoid it happening again. You got to be decisive. Trust your decision. Once you make the decision, you got to make the decision. Once you make a decision, you got to go all in on it. Second guessing yourself is going to not result in anything good. So all right, what do we do here? The jump is unnecessary here. What are we thinking with the jump here? Not sure. If you just drive into this, actually, just chip it, stay on the ground. This bounces off the wall perfectly for you to follow up. This is a fine play. If you just want to drive into it, get it to bounce off the wall, then you can jump up an aerial and follow it up. But the jump there just kills that play. Unfortunately, the jump is just completely unnecessary. Puff. Oh, good try. Way to be in position in case he misses that, because that was a very tough save for him to make. Very high chance he misses that, and that could have been a free net for you. So good job being in position in case he missed that. Definitely, again, getting ahead of yourself. You look pretty decent, honestly. Mechanically, I'm surprised that you're making some of the decisions. I'm surprised that you're making some of the decisions that you're making based on the level of mechanics that I'm seeing. Like, you seem like you're better than making some of these judgment calls. And what I'm talking about here is it's pretty obvious after you launch this ball off the wall with now your 50 boost that you're not going to be able to, with 50 boost, you're not going to be able to get back to this ball and make a play. So all you're doing is burning your boost for nothing. You don't have the momentum going towards the ball to be able to get back to this ball. So I would wish that you would recognize that and decide not to waste all your boost and just use it to recover faster, get back into the play quicker. Because now you've just burned 50 boost for that, and now you're out of boost. And now you're dead. Is this game? I should have just let it play, but let's see this. So here, as I was talking about earlier, rotating into the play, this one, earlier it wasn't as bad. This one's much more just blatant rotating into the play here. you flip and you're flipping towards the play. So what's going to happen here? I want to see you rotate out in this direction because your teammate, it doesn't look like they're going to make it to this ball by the time it hits the wall. And this is a tough ball for your teammate to get a touch on. So you need to assume that this is going to bounce off the wall. Let me see this full speed again. Yeah. All right, this is a tough call. All right. I take it back. It's tough to tell whether your teammate plans on going this way or this way with it. So you don't necessarily know that you're rotating into the play here at this point in time. So, okay, I'm fine with it. Oh, wow. So the only thing you could have done better here is recognize that that's not on target, which I think you do. Recognize that's not on target. So what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. So don't freak out. The ball is going to hit the wall and bounce out this way. No reason for you to jump randomly like you do and try to pre-jump save it. All you got to do is position here, like, keep driving forward, turn ball cam off so that the ball is not overhead and you get a better perspective of your car on the field. And just recognize, okay, it's going to bounce out in front of the net. All I have to do is follow up for the 50-50 here. I don't need to try to pre-jump save over here or over here. I know where the ball is going. All I have to do is get between the ball and the net. So don't panic here. Try not to panic. You know it's off target. You know what's going to happen. It's going to bounce off the wall. All you got to do is put yourself between the ball and the net. Okay, get that boost steal. Nice. Honestly, probably could have just stole the boost and rotated out. We're fine. We're fine, though. We're fine with it. It's okay. It's all right. We're fine with this. We're fine with that. All right. This is a tough position to be in. This is definitely a tough position to be in. You don't really have a great play to do anything because the ball is about to bounce, right? It's about to bounce here and then go up the wall in this sort of very hard and awkward position to start a play, to catch it and go out this way. It is an awkward bounce here. So when you're in this position where it's awkward, just recognize you don't have to go yet. You can wait for the bounce. You can. You can circle back. You don't have to grab the boost if you don't want to. You don't need it at the moment, but you can wait for the bounce. You don't have to go for this. There's no reason that you have to go for this right now. So if you can't really get a read on it, don't see any play going forward here, recognize when you're back in your corner and you're pretty safe, you don't have to go for it. You can wait it out. You can wait for that bounce, and then you wouldn't have had to make this poor touch that recentered the ball for your opponent here. And that's game. So biggest takeaways I would say definitely are not rushing when you have a ton of open space. Try to utilize free space better when you got it. Take your time. Try to take better touches, get better shots, make 1v1 dribble plays when you've got all that open space. Use it. 2, you got to hit the ball away from yourself a little less. A couple times you just were flipping into the ball and giving the ball away, or jumping into the ball, hitting the ball with no follow-up in mind. You had no plan of action after the touch, and so you're just giving away the ball a little bit too much, too easily. Better to not hit the ball than to hit the ball and give it away. So that may have been a little bit of an overgeneralization, but you get the point. And I think the other biggest thing was try to flicker your ball cam a little less. You were turning it off sometimes, or you didn't need to turn it off, and losing a lot of information. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you learned something, do me a favor, leave a comment down below what you learned from this video. Leave a comment down below if you agree with everything I said or you disagree with it. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share it around with your buddies who need to improve their gameplay. Oh, and click this end screen video right here in the middle of the screen. Go watch this other Champ 3 replay analysis. Keep learning. You know, if you're here at the end of the video watching the Champ 3 analysis, you're probably around that rank. So you could use a couple extra videos to keep learning. So click on the video, check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.